breakfast casserole, you don't need many ingredients, but what you do need is you just want to use some sharp cheddar cheese. You need 1 pack of bacon of your choice. I also like to garnish the top of it with green onion. I think it gives it really good flavor and a nice crunch. And then you also need some of these yellow baby potatoes, 1 onion, and you're going to need some eggs as well. So the most time-consuming thing of this casserole is chopping up all of the ingredients, but a little tip I have for you, you can chop up everything the night before. We had this on Christmas morning last year, and it was amazing, you guys. I love how easy it is to put together once you have everything chopped up, but I use some baby potatoes. You can also use sweet potatoes as well. I use bacon. If you don't like bacon, you can use turkey bacon. You can use sausage. You can really get creative and do whatever you like for this casserole. So once you have everything chopped up, go ahead and put some olive oil in a pan, and then you want to go ahead and saute up your potatoes and onion. You also want to cook your bacon as well. I didn't add any olive oil for the bacon because the bacon creates quite a bit of grease, so go ahead and saute your onions until it's translucent. Then you can add your potatoes in, and I just slightly cook the potatoes till they're slightly browned, and then I cook the bacon until it's like fully cooked, like 80% cooked, and then it can finish cooking in the casserole. I season the potatoes with salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Now my bacon is like 80% done. I'm going to go ahead and drain it on a paper towel. Like I said, it will continue to cook in the casserole. So now I'm going to go ahead and crack the eggs. So I usually do about 8 to 10 eggs depending on how many people I'm trying to feed. Since it was just Ryan and I only needed this prepped out for the week, I did 8 eggs. Go ahead and season it with salt and pepper, and you're good to go. Make sure to spray a casserole dish with some nonstick spray so that way you don't have anything stick. And then I go ahead and pour the potato and onion mixture. And then I go ahead and pour the bacon and I mix it very well. Once you have the bacon added, you can go ahead and pour the egg mixture. And then I will usually season it up with some additional seasonings. I like my breakfast casserole to be super flavorful, so I'll go in with some salt and pepper. Now, of course, I'm going to go in with some cheddar cheese. You guys, this makes it so good. You can add as much cheese as you want. You can also skip the cheese if you want to make this a lot healthier. You do not have to do the cheese, but I think it really takes this recipe to the next level. So here's how everything's going to look. Go ahead and pop it in the oven. Let the oven do the rest of the work for you. And now we can move on to the rest of our meal prep. So I love adding a vegetable tray whenever I'm doing some meal prep. So I am chopping up some Brussels sprouts. I'm going to do some red onion, and I'm going to do some carrots as well. This veggie tray was so good. I always do a veggie tray every week. I just switch up the veggies, switch up the seasonings, so that way I don't get tired of it. But you can literally do whatever vegetable you have in the fridge. I love doing veggie trays because it really helps get rid of any vegetables in your fridge that are going bad. So for the seasoning today, I used some garlic salt, I used some Italian seasoning, and I also used some vegetable seasoning that I pick up from TJ Maxx or Home Goods. Yes, you can get seasoning from there. I always share that, and you guys are so surprised, but they have some of the best seasonings. And then I'll go ahead and toss it. Now, one thing I'll do differently with this veggie tray, I would have let the carrots roast for about 5 to 10 minutes of a head start and then add the rest of the vegetables, because I had to end up cooking it a little bit longer than I wanted to get those carrots soft. And I drizzle it with olive oil, give it a good toss, and we're gonna go ahead and pop it in the oven with the breakfast casserole. So we have the breakfast casserole cooking in the oven. We have the veggie tray cooking. Now we're moving on to our chicken. So I am using the thinned out chicken breast. If you buy the regular chicken breast, you can just roll it out to get it super flat. So that way everything cooks nice and even. So I'm seasoning both sides of the chicken with salt and pepper. And then I went ahead and did a little seasoning mix. And this was so, so good. I'll have the recipe typed out below for you guys in the description box. And I just seasoned both sides with this homemade seasoning. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip over the chicken. I do stop and wash my hands. You can see my hands are still wet. Definitely wash your hands before touching your salt and pepper grinder so you don't contaminate anything. So I'm gonna season this other side with salt and pepper and then my homemade seasoning mix. And then we're gonna be browning both sides of the chicken. So what makes the chicken so good is I brown it in my cast iron pan on like medium-high heat, and I do some avocado oil because it has such a high heating point, and I just cook it till it's brown on one side, and then I'll flip it and cook it till it's brown on that side, and then I will continue to cook the chicken in the oven. By this time, the breakfast casserole was all done. You guys, look how good this looks. Oh my gosh, we haven't even added the green onion to it yet. So usually when I am pan frying my chicken and browning it on both sides, I do not use this much avocado oil. I like to do a layer of avocado oil. I used a little bit too much, but that's okay. I will end up draining some before we finish cooking it in the oven. So since this chicken breast was super thin, it doesn't need much time in the oven. I think I only cooked it for maybe 5 minutes in the oven. If you are working with thicker chicken, then I will cook it for probably about 12 minutes in the oven. So now that I drained a little bit of that avocado oil, I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in the oven so I can cook the inside of the chicken. Last thing we're gonna meal prep is our brown rice, and I love having brown rice because we can use it for our meal prep chicken and also for dinner recipes as well. Meal prep is all done. Everything looks amazing. So we have our lunch. I made a huge thing of some veggies, some brown rice, and some chicken is gonna be our lunch this week. And then I also made my favorite breakfast casserole, and we're gonna eat off of this for breakfast for the week. You guys, just took about an hour and a half to do all of this stuff, and now I know that we can have healthy meals for lunch and breakfast. This is supposed to be our lunch, and Ryan's going to town now. The brown rice, chicken, veggies, how is it?
It's amazing.
All right, guys, that was everything we were able to meal prep out in today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit that subscribe button down below. Join the family here on my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.